Fairbanks Focus is a locally produced public affairs program created in part by University of Alaska Fairbanks, KTVF, and Fairbanks Economic Development Corporation.
Thanks for joining us again here at Fairbanks Focus Alaska View. I'm Annette Pearson. Today I'm joined by Ann Hanley and Brienne Westcott, and they're here to talk about some very exciting performances that we have coming up here in Fairbanks. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, I know that we have the project's called Winter Bear, and that you have some performances coming up here in Fairbanks, but I want the audience, our viewers at home, to know a little bit more about the project that you're working on, because I know it's been a long time that you've been working on it. So tell our viewers at home a little bit more about the Winter Bear project.
Well, it began in 2008 when some young men in Fairbanks were very despondent about a number of suicides, and they decided they wanted to do something else and something positive. So they began to hold dances and do rap and all kinds of things. And then one of them happened to be reading Shadows on the Koyukuk, Sidney Huntington's biography. And he said, why don't we do a play? So that was kind of interesting because none of them had really any theater experience or had been to that many plays even. But they put together a package that was an early college credit for students at F.E. Cochran.
Oh, cool.
And it was funded by First Alaskans and by Danakanaga. So we put on that show in 2008 at the Salisbury Theater, and students from F.E. Cochran acted in it and were our crew, and it was amazing because many of them were related to Sidney, and he actually got to watch through a university feed, and that was very cool.
So Sidney Huntington actually got to watch the live feed of the play taking place?
Yes.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. And I did not get to actually meet Mr. Huntington until I'd really done a first draft of the play that was due and ready to be rehearsed. And when I did meet him, we had some conversations, and he shared with me that a number of his children, 3 of his sons, had committed suicide.
Oh, wow.
And really kind of opened up about that issue, and gave me permission to revise the play and to tackle that issue more head-on. He felt that it was time to talk about that issue openly, and that he was willing to do that.
Very cool. And so you actually wrote the play that's going to be performed then coming up here at the Shakespeare Theater.
Yes.
Awesome, awesome. And tell us, Brienne, what's your involvement in the Winter Bear project?
I'm an actor. I actually was originally cast in a supporting role of the VPSO in the village. They just had some challenges finding someone to play Sidney who could actually handle somebody who's on stage 80% of the time, and there's some physical stuff and whatnot. So we had a couple previous runs in Anchorage where I got recast both times as Sidney, and I have come to realize it's the greatest gift they could have come to me. I thought that's not the thing that I wanted. I'm not going to get cast as 95-year-olds. But it's been such a gift and a great just acting challenge, and also a great way to come home. I grew up in Fairbanks, and I had to go outside to study the craft of acting and whatnot, and it's a way to come home and honor the old guys from my family who are all from up and down the Kuskokwim.
You were saying that your family's from Bethel, too. Your mom?
My mom was born in Bethel and raised in Crooked Creek and McGrath.
Oh, wow.
So, this is home country, and this story is about people very much from my own family. So I didn't have to go too far to. Our work as actors, we have to really get down to earth and physical with the reality of things, and I didn't have to go too far to find this guy and what a cabin's like out on the river.
So you felt almost connected with Sidney Huntington as an actor. You could really understand his story.
Well, I feel so humbled to even be in the same sentence with Sidney Huntington, but yes. And I have to pay a big tribute to Sidney. As Anne was just saying, he gave her permission to go ahead and tackle this issue head on. He had no vanity about him not looking great. There's some of his own behavior that is not too admirable. He said he didn't care if showing all this will help save one person, it's worth it, do it. Which gives all of us doing the play a great freedom to, we don't have to pussyfoot around someone's vanity. It's pretty intimidating to play someone who's this respected and is alive. And so I give him a big credit for giving us that permission to just dive in.
Well, and it's pretty amazing, and I think that being able to do a screenplay and being able to do a lot of truth telling in the screenplay and being able to put a positive light on things that people have a hard time talking about is really important, especially to have something that's made by our community for our community in regards to problems that our community faces. I think it's really nice to see that.
And every community faces it in a different way, and that's one reason we want to bring the show to rural Alaska communities and be able to have discussions, or have communities have discussions. We're using the play as a catalyst to hopefully promote discussions. In 2010, through funding from Doyon and the Rasmussen Foundation, we were able to bring this play to Galena and to Sidney Huntington, and to have he and his wife Angela in the first row, and he gave a blessing to the play. He spoke at a potlatch and gave us all copies of his book and was so generous to us. And he continues to be an inspiration to us because at his age then, he'll be turning 98 May 10th.
Oh, wow.
But for someone that age to still be concerned with us and making sure we felt at home in Galena. And until recently, he was still going to the early morning basketball practices in Galena to just be there for the kids. So, he really is an inspiration to us, because if he at his age can stay connected with young people, then I think we all need to do that too.
Well, definitely, and I know that, and that's part of what you guys are trying to do, is to help connect and empower the youth, and know that they're not alone, and know that there are other sort of venues for them. And are you guys partnering? I know you said that you got grants from Doyon and other places, so you guys have a performance here in Fairbanks. Where are some other places that you guys would like to go, and what are some of the things that you're looking for to meet those goals?
We have our Fairbanks tour our Fairbanks performances are actually the kickoff of our tour of Upper Tanana and Copper River Basin areas.
Oh, cool.
So we have funding from the Alaska Native Tribal Health Consortium and from Tanana Chiefs to go to communities. We'll be going to Tok, Tanacross, Northway, Mantasta Lake, Copper Center, Glen Ellen, and the smaller the communities, the better, because we really feel that this is a show we want to share with people. It isn't like we just don't want to make a video and send it out. We want to be able to work with people in the communities. Our actors, who are extremely talented, are going to be doing workshops with kids in schools.
Oh, cool.
All kinds of things, from hip hop dance, stage combat, how to make it as a Native American actor. And we also have behavioral health support that's being provided by the Copper River Native Association, Alaska Native Tribal Health, and Tanana Chiefs. So there will be people there to let people know that there's support and who offers support in each community, and to help communities lead discussions, if they choose to do that, about what they might like to do.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. And I know, like you said, it's exciting for you to be able to bring this home. Are you guys going to be able to make it out to Bethel? Or is that something that is in the works?
That's on our next list, the next ring out of places we'd like to go. We'd like to get all over the state. We would like to get beyond the state, if we could, and take it outside. This is an issue that isn't just in Alaska. It's all across indigenous country in North America. The suicide rates are just appalling. And so this is something where we can actually do. We can actually go out to places. I mean, I've done a lot of film acting. That's great. I love it. But there's something about doing theater in an actual place. You go, the audience changes the show.
Yeah.
When we're in a place, that changes us and what we do. That energy that fuels us, it changes it. So we want to go and help activate the good stuff that people have in their own communities. You don't have to be in Hollywood to do good theater or show business. It can be anywhere. It can be here. It can be in tiny, tiny villages.
Well, and you don't have to be in a big place to do something that makes an impactful statement, too, to help the community and to bring the community together and just to show them, like you said, that you can do these wonderful things in the smaller places. So, if people want to get involved and help you get to Bethel, what can they do? Like as our audience members at home, what can they do to help support you, to help you be able to broaden that spectrum and to bring it to more places?
Well, we're certainly looking for funding. We have a website, www.winterbearproject.com. You can contribute on the website. You can get a hold of us. I mean, we're in town. We're easy to contact. We've been talking to state agencies. We've been talking to companies, all sorts of people, and trying to put together some funding packages so that we can go on. And now that we're mobilized, now that we're all ready, we've got our tour ready set. We've got our props and costumes that can all be fit into duffels. We can travel. So we're ready to go. We're just always looking for more funding to get us to more places. Yes.
Right. It's also, we should say, it is a 501c3, correct?
We're working through a 501c3. We actually have two nonprofits. One is the North Star Community Foundation. They're our 501c3. And then we also have the Winter Bear Project, which is a state nonprofit.
So it's tax deductible. Yeah. That's good. Also, one thing that is helpful is just when we get requests from, geez, could you come out to so-and-so and bring your show? We can show those requests to funders. Awesome. Say, look at how much interest there is.
And also, there are matching funds available for some things like travel. The Rasmussen Foundation has some matching funds. But when we go to a place, we really need buy-in from the community. We don't want to just have a list and say, okay, now we're going to this place. We want people to want us to come, and they have to help us. On our trip to Tok, all of our housing is being donated, and the venues are being donated. We're having potluck, covered dish suppers that local people are doing. So that's really important to us, that this is a partnership. It's not just us.
Well, and I think that's important. I think that's part of the appeal is that you are bringing people in for their community, by their community, and that's what's so amazing about the whole production. And I really hope that you're able to broaden that network and bring it to Bethel and bring it even further and then beyond the state. I'm from Arizona, and I can tell you, spending lots of time on the reservations there, it would be nice to have someone bringing that back and to show what you can do and what you can do in your community, because it's really what it's about. But so I want to just real quick show everyone this flyer. For those of us here in Fairbanks, you can come watch it May 2nd and 3rd, 7:30 p.m. at the Fairbanks Shakespeare Theater. Tickets are $15.
Correct.
And they can buy them at the door, but where else can they get them?
At Team Cutters on Airport Road. The tickets are available now at Team Cutters.
Awesome. Well, again, thanks again for coming today on the show. And I want to tell our viewers out there, too, that if you missed any part of today's program or episodes in the past, you can go check it out now at fairbanksfocus.com. And that's going to do it for me. Next up, we have Samantha Larson.
Hello there, and thank you for joining us again. I'm Samantha Larson with the Fairbanks Focus, Alaska View. Today I'm sitting down with Shavru Opal, Communication Specialist with the UAF Summer Sessions. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Thanks for coming on, I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
So tell me, what is that you do with the UAF Summer Sessions?
As a communication specialist, I am tasked with promoting and publicizing all the programs for summer sessions. For example, the things that we do for students, financial aid information, bringing all that information out about courses and informing the community about the community events. So I'm sort of the public information person.
You're the go-to person. Like,
yes.
Hey, I'm here. This is what we're doing. Come check it out.
Yes, exactly. That's right.
Cool. So summer sessions, is it just limited to college students trying to catch up and taking summer courses, or is there more to it than just that?
Well, the primary focus of summer sessions was or is to help students, graduate on time. We want students to graduate within 4 years. So we offer core classes and other credit classes in the summertime so that students can sign up for those classes and advance in their degrees. But we're not limited just to offering those over 250 classes every summer. We do something for all age groups. We do something for children. We do something for college students. We do a lot of free events and things like that for the community members as well.
So it's a wide age range,
yes.
From maybe like 8 or 9 all the way up to 17, 18?
We offer classes starting for, middle school children, we could say about age group of 9, but when we offer community events, it goes all the way up to, however, 60 plus, however old you are.
Right. Just in the community, anybody.
Yeah, so we do offer a variety of things for all ages.
So as far as, let's start with the college students, how many courses, did you say 250?
In between 200 and 250 courses we offer every summer, which include core classes. We offer online as well as face-to-face classes. And there are also courses that are not just core classes, they're 300 and 400 and graduate level classes for students as well.
Okay, so they kind of ranges from freshman level all the way up
to graduate students.
Just pretty much a whole wide variety of all of them. Okay.
That is right.
So as far as the classes that you offer for the younger crowds, middle school, junior high, and high school, what kind of classes are those? Is it mainly educational, like arithmetic, English, science, or do you have any fun stuff in there that they can do?
Actually, the courses that we offer are mostly for college students, but what we do is we do small camps for the younger generation. So we offer the cooking camps, which is offered all the way from 9-year-olds, and then they get to learn baking, and they have like a cooking camp where they learn baking or international cuisine, so they get to work with an instructor one-on-one, and then they learn to do these things. We also have Fairbanks 911, which we call...
What is that?
That is a weekend with the good guys. That's how we explain it. So the students, high school students, get a chance to interact or follow law enforcement professionals, so they get to see pretend drug bust, they get to see the K9 team, the surveillance helicopters, so they just, and handcuffs and police vehicles, so they get like a hands-on experience with what it feels like. We have got a great response in the previous years where we've offered that, so this year again we're offering, and the great thing about that course or that camp is that we have scholarships for students as well, so it can actually be paid for if they apply for the scholarship.
Really? Okay, and how long does that last for? Is it a week?
It's just a week. Okay. It's a week-long program.
But that'd be a great experience.
Yes.
So I mean, they get to see hands-on what the police force does. Do they do ride-alongs? And
it depends. I think most of the information is pretend and not so much live because for the safety of the
But that's great though, because then the kids get to see what it's like with the police and what they do. I know a lot of youth think that the cops are bad, pigs, yada yada yada, just because and what's in the media and this and that. So I think it's great that they get to go behind the scenes and say, hey, we are the good guys, as you put it. This is what we're doing.
Right. So it creates a really positive association with law enforcement.
And then maybe some of the kids will say, hey, I think I'd like to do this. You know, I'd like to be an officer. So what other programs do you do? I heard something about a rafting expedition some offered?
Yes, there is a field photography class, and among other things, there are other field photography classes, but the one you're referring to is you get to take a 5-day trip and float down the Johns River in Brooks Range, and you get to take pictures along the way. So it's like a really exciting hands-on experience while you're in the wilderness in Alaska. And it's, you know, it's something that you can experience only in the summertime, so it's very unique. It's week-long. You are in inclement weather, you're working with a few people, but you're taking photographs and you're learning. So it's an adventure, an educational adventure. And so
you're out there, you're in the rough, you're doing it, you're hands-on. There's no really any bumpers, if you will.
Yes, it's absolutely wonderful, and it's in August, you know, when the flowers are out there, and it's really beautiful, and it's great weather. So.
Oh yeah, well, Alaska in the summertime
is beautiful.
Doesn't get much better than that. And so, are you just going out there for a day in rafting, or is this like a week-long thing?
It is a week-long. It's a week-long thing, and you get to camp and then float down in the rafts as well.
Oh, okay. And do the participants? What do they supply their own food and equipment, or how does that work?
The participants have to bring their own cameras, and they have to have different kind of lenses to use and to take pictures. I mean, there's no right way of what kind of lens you should bring along, but you know, if you bring an assortment of lenses, then it just helps you take more exotic photographs that are in the distance. For example, like a macro and a micro lens. So, and the transportation is paid for in the tuition that the folks will pay.
Oh, okay. And I know that one's a little bit pricier than the other classes.
They are. It is $1,285, but if you look at the flotation devices plus the transportation is provided, I think that is majority of the cost.
It pretty much pays for itself and then some.
That's right.
So, I mean, I would pay it for that kind of experience.
Yeah, it is quite wonderful.
I'm excited. I want to do it myself. And I know that aren't there cooking classes and basic things like that for the kids too, if you don't want to get too crazy?
The cooking camp is week-long, and you can take it throughout the summer. There are variations of depending on age and also dates. So it is spread out throughout the summer. So if you're 9, you can take it at a certain point, and then if you're older, for example, if you're like in your teens, and it's a different audience, and then it's a different time. Okay. So it's spread out throughout the summer.
Oh, okay. So I mean, if you can't do it this month, or
then you can try, for example, doing it in June as opposed to doing.
I'm sure that's got to help parents too with work schedules and
that is really helpful that way.
Okay. Yeah. And just one last thing: are most of these classes just like a few hours, or are they an entire day? Or
the camps, the different classes have variations. Some of them are spread during the daytime. Some of them are only half day for 4 hours at a time. But I recommend that anybody who's interested visit our website and see the details. So there is a tab there for youth programs specifically that covers the cafe, which is the cooking classes, and we also have leadership programs that we're doing in association with the Northern Leadership Center. There's information about Fairbanks 911, the one we talked about the working with the law enforcement folks, and then there is another one that we are doing with Calypso Farms. It is the eating program. So a lot of that information is available under youth programs on our website. So
tell me about sorry to interrupt you, tell me about the leadership one.
The leadership program is offered through the Northern Leadership Center, and it's basically helping students develop their leadership skills. Increasingly, we are realizing that the students need to participate and do things where they have to stand up for themselves, and so I think that's a great program to develop some leadership skills.
Absolutely. I did something like that when I was in junior high and then high school. I actually went on to get a scholarship for college, so I think leadership programs are great. They really help boost kids' self-esteem and build their character, which is a huge thing. Right. So just one last thing, as far as community, I know you guys do concerts and a whole variety of things that are free, correct?
Right. Actually, the great thing that the Summer Sessions staff works really hard on doing is involving the community, bringing them up on UAF campus and saying, this is your campus, you need to take ownership of it. And so what we do is Monday through Thursday, we have free events starting from 7 to 8 p.m. We have lecture series. For example, this time we're doing a lecture series in association with Fairbanks Memorial Hospital. It's called Healthy Living, and the Fairbanks Memorial Hospital administrators and doctors are going to share in very lay language, important things like healthcare costs and what do they need to understand about insurance, and information about how accidents happen with little children.
Right.
So those are the things that are going to be addressed on Tuesday nights from 7 to 8 in the new Life Sciences building. It's at the Murray building, and it's free parking. So it's a wonderful way of learning more about the healthcare system. Also, we have things on Wednesday nights for community folks. It is free events in front of the Student Recreation Center at UAF. And it doesn't matter how old you are or young you are, you bring your kids, you just go there, and it's an hour-long activity. That is a guided activity. You can do nature walks. You could do small games.
Sounds like a blast.
Yeah, and it's absolutely free, which is really important because we don't want to charge folks. Yeah. We want folks to come up on our campus. And you mentioned the concerts. We have at the Georgeson Botanical Gardens again for 10 weeks straight, starting on June 6th through August. Every Thursday we have free concerts, bluegrass as well as Fairbanks folk music, and folks can just show up there.
And it's 10 weeks long, right? So there's going to be 10 of these concerts.
Absolutely. And you just bring your dinner, sit down in the grass, enjoy a nice meal with your family. And last year was amazing. We had these concerts where kids were just dancing and enjoying the music, and folks were just sitting in the grass and having a blast. So
sounds fantastic. Sounds like a lot of fun. So see, there you have it. If you're worried this summer, maybe your budget isn't there to do things with your kids and your family, UAF is offering all of these free things, so now you don't have any excuse to bring out the family and have some good bonding time. Just real quick, I know there's a concert coming up on Sunday, May 5th. Judy Collins, here's a poster, if you can see that. And is there a cost for this concert?
Yes, the tickets are only $30, and you can purchase them by calling our office line, which is 907-474-7021. You can just call directly and we mail your tickets, or we can hold them to the day of concert and you can pick them up at the door, or you can buy them at www.alaskatix.com. And then they will mail the tickets across to you as well.
Okay, and then just real quick, if you will, tell our guests the website for the summer sessions.
Sure. Our website is www.uaf.edu/summer. And all the information about the courses and the concerts and the events for the summer are on our website.
All right. Well, there you have it. That's going to do it for us here today on the show. I'm Samantha Larson with the Fairbanks Focus. Get out there and enjoy your summer and make the best of it with UAF.